What's up, guys? It is almost the end of September, which means I want to give my Oscar predictions for the month of September. We've had TIFF, NIF is going on right now, New York Film Festival. We've had some stuff premiere with the general public, so things have been changing. And with that, we're going to start with Best Picture, and we have a new number one. I have One Battle After Another. It has premiered. I'm actually recording this, and then once I'm done with this, going to actually see it today. They're saying it's the best Paul Thomas Anderson movie, the best movie of the decade. It has such a hype that is very similar to Oppenheimer. And because of that, and I've seen the Letterboxd score is like 4.5, which is crazy with a lot of reviews. IMDb is 8.6. Metacritic is 95. It's just, people are loving this movie. I haven't really seen a movie like this much praise since Oppenheimer. And with like all the reviews being that high and the audience being high and everything being high. And I wasn't sure if it was going to play with audiences or critics or both, and it seemed like it's playing with everyone. So because of that, I am giving it the Oppenheimer effect, sort of, and putting it in a lot of my stuff, and it is number one right now. It also has the narrative going that PTA hasn't won an Oscar. It really is setting itself up for success. I don't know what could happen that like it would not be at least in the top three. With that being said, my number two now is Hamnet. My number three is Sinners. Those kind of go back and forth. Hamnet also has a very high Metacritic score, a very high Letterboxd score. I just think it seems like One Battle After Another. It's like they're both being extremely well received, but One Battle After Another is like probably going to have the audience factor on top of that, which I think will, and possibly the box office, depending how it performs, to kind of push it over the edge of Hamnet. Then Sinners, my number one for I think this entire time. I think it still has a chance, but now there's some serious competition. Where before I think it was the highest competition there was, and now there's stuff that's going above it. Not saying doesn't have a chance to win. It just has a little more work to do. Then number four, Sentimental Value. Number five, Wicked for Good. Sentimental Value, I think it's just going to be in the top five. I don't know if it's going to win. I think it came out really strong with Cannes. It won the Grand Prix, and I think because of that, it's Neon. I think because of that, and it's Neon's biggest contender. And with that being said, I think it's the guaranteed nomination, but now there's too many things. Unless it has this surge, there's too many things ahead of it. Similar with Wicked, I think no matter what, it's getting nominated for Best Picture. I shouldn't say that. If the second one is just as good as the first, if not better, that's where I think if it's better than the first or equals to the first, it's top five. If it's less than the first, it's like 5 to 10, depending on how much compared to the first. It's not as good. I do think it's going to be equal to the first. It's just the trailers look great for it, so we'll have to see. But that's also another one where I don't think, even if the second one was amazing and it's Universal's kind of like big push, I don't think it's going to win because there's just too much competition now ahead of it that it can't get ahead. It can win in other categories, but for Best Picture, I'm not sure. Then I have Marty Supreme. This 6 is pretty much like Best Picture nominees. I don't think those are changing. It might change a number, but I don't think it's falling off the list. Marty Supreme, A24, their biggest movie, Christmas release, Timothée Chalamet. I see it following the complete unknown kind of thing. It's gonna be seen at the right time. Period piece. It's just there's a lot of stuff to it that I think is like a perfect storm to get it nominated. Will it win? I'm not sure. No one's seen it. It's not at the festivals, so we kind of have to wait until like critics start to see it closer to like November, December. So then my 7 through 10 could fall off the list. I'm not 100% positive on these. Other ones from like 11 to 20 could pop in. Like these more are like I think they're getting nominated, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Frankenstein, I'll tell you why. I took it out for a while, but then at TIFF, People's Choice was Hamnet, which I forgot to mention for Hamnet, another reason why I think it's definitely getting nominated. It had Frankenstein, and it had Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out, Mystery. I've looked at TIFF for the last like 10 years. Almost every year, maybe one was an outlier, but almost every year, at least 2 movies from the TIFF People's Choice were in Best Picture. Not all 3. So Glass Onion got People's Choice, didn't get nominated. Knives Out has never got Best Picture, any of the 3, or any of the 2 other ones before the third one. I think because of that, it makes me believe Hamnet and Frankenstein are going to be the ones in Best Picture. And I'm using, this is just like a stat that I'm using. There's no other reasoning behind it. Also, I mean, people are, but it also shows that people really like Frankenstein more than I thought. And it's going to be a big below the line one, so it would help its Best Picture chances with that as well. Number 8, Begonia. It's Yorgos Lanthimos. He's been nominated for The Favorite, for Poor Things. This seems very reminiscent of those type of movies. He didn't write it. Someone else did, and usually that works better with the Oscars. My only concern is, a lot of people have it out of the list. I just don't want to put it out yet because it's Yorgos Lanthimos. It's almost like James Cameron with Avatar, who I have out of the list, but literally just by like one spot. Is it going to be the time where they're going to snub him finally? Like, I don't know if, like, it's been so many movies within a short span where they're like, we've given him enough. So that's why I'm not 100% sure. House of Dynamite, the Netflix movie, had great Metacritic, good Letterboxd, good reviews out of the festival, out of Venice. So that could definitely be a contender. There hasn't been much buzz after it. Let's see if it continues at other festivals or once it comes out, how it's received. Then I have It Was Just an Accident. I know it's very low on my list for some people. People have it higher up. I just don't hear the buzz about it. But maybe it's one of those ones where it doesn't need the buzz. It's just going to go to festivals. It's going to stay kind of constant and then get nominated. For other foreign films have done this, and that's why I can't count it out. It's also Neon. It's a prolific director, foreign director. So I'm not 100% sure. Now, before I get to my 11 through 20, Begonia, House of Dynamite, and It Was Just an Accident. Those 3 are from Begonia with Focus Features, House of Dynamite with Netflix, and It Was Just an Accident with Neon. All of those already have a movie in my Best Picture lineup. Normally, only one studio gets 2 movies in. And right now I have 3 studios getting 2 movies in. I don't know if that's plausible. It's like having multiple, bigger budget movies. They just don't like to put a lot in. So I do think all 3 of those studios are not going to get 2 movies. Which one's the highest chance? I don't know. That's why I'm those are at my bottom, where I think things could replace these. But also, this is at September. Maybe in a few months, I could be singing a different tune. That said, my 11 through 20 is 11 is Avatar: Fire and Ash. I don't want to bet against James Cameron, but it seems like the more Avatars come out, the less nominations they're getting. Unless it's going to be like a Lord of the Rings situation, and it's going to get a bunch more now. But we know it's not the end. This is the last one he's filmed, and they haven't really confirmed who's directing the other ones. So that may happen. It may sneak right in at number 10. That's why Avatar could easily be my top 10. It's just literally right on the end, right on the edge. Then I have Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. I just don't know if we're done with biopics right now. We had Complete Unknown, and I don't know if we're ready for one right the next year. Because normally the biopics, it's every other year. And the year that, there was Bohemian Rhapsody 2018 and then Rocketman 2019, Rocketman didn't get it, even though it was a better movie in my opinion. And also just a worthy enough to get in Best Picture. I feel like that could happen for Springsteen as well. I have to see. I feel like people we lost a little buzz about it. But I think give it a few more. It comes out next month. So actually, it should be coming more in the conversation. Let's see if it can hold on to that hype it has, or that buzz at least, that little buzz it has. Jeremy Allen White is definitely getting no matter what, though. Then I have no other choice. It won the International People's Choice, which was new for this year. But I heard there was they were adding a lot of screens, selling out right away. Would it have gone to the People's Choice if it didn't have the international level? They were still in contention for the regular People's Choice, but I think because they gave it that 2 options, it split the vote and it just went to international. Where if international wasn't there, I wonder if it could have snuck into number 3 on People's Choice. They don't. Everyone's putting it in their top 10s. I just don't know yet because they don't like to nominate Park Chan-wook. He has never been nominated before. His movies, highly regarded, never been nominated. And they say it's very classic Park Chan-wook, and I don't know. Maybe the Oscars weren't ready for it back then, and maybe now, when they're nominating movies like Substance and stuff like that, maybe they're ready for a more kind of crazy movie. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not ruling it out. I just the stats aren't behind it to automatically put it in. Maybe down the line, maybe. But it's also limited towards the end of the year. I don't know if it's going to get that big push when it needs that big push. It's also Neon. Neon has a lot of movies. Can they secure all of these movies for nominations? I definitely think it's a best international feature contender, but I don't know yet about Best Picture. Then we have Jay Kelly. Fell out of the list. I mean, people are liking it. They're not loving it though. So I don't see it following even the Marriage Story one. I think it can get. I think it's gonna be an acting movie, a screenplay movie, and that's it. I don't think it's gonna get Best Picture. And that could even change on that. I just think it had, you know, it's high at Venice and it slowly started to go down. I don't know if it can pick back up. It is. I wonder if it's more for American audiences, so it's more at the American film festivals might pick up a little more steam. It doesn't seem like it's going to. It just definitely seems like a screenplay, maybe a few acting, but we'll have to wait and see. The Smashing Machine. Reviews out of Venice were good, but they were saying it's kind of generic, but it was still like a good Oscar movie. And like, I feel like if this was like before Oscars kind of started taking more risks, I would have said like, yeah, probably. But now that it's more basic kind of biopic-y, I don't know if it's going to get Best Picture. You know, it might have some, maybe The Rock can get it, stuff like that. But it could be the surprise, and the A24 can really push it, and it can be like, surprise, like not everyone, it's like, it's a good movie, not great, but we're still going to nominate it. So it still has a lot to kind of figure out its path, and it's too early to kind of rule it out right now. It did win Best Director at Venice, but people are starting to say like Venice, the winners of like all those awards, like the Golden Lion, stuff like that, don't necessarily predict the Oscars anymore. So I'm not sure if that's a tell or not, that you know, people are liking it, or if it's gonna just be like maybe get some precursors, but then not get the final one at the Oscars. Is this thing on? I am taking a big risk in this. I do think, because Rental Family we'll talk about in a sec, it kind of fell out after TIFF. It wasn't what people were thinking. It wasn't going to be the crowd pleaser that was going to get into Best Picture. So Searchlights usually gets a Best Picture nomination. Their only other movie really is This Thing On, the new Bradley Cooper movie. The Oscars love Bradley Cooper. It is premiering at NIF, a New York Film Festival. We'll see what people think. I do think this is going to be like a secret, like, oh my God, like, don't count this one out. So that's why I'm putting it low in a bunch of categories to, like, in case people start to love it, I can pick it back up. But I don't think we should be ruling this one out. I don't think we should be sleeping on this one because of Bradley Cooper's track record. Both his directing movies have been nominated for, doesn't get directing, but gets a Best Picture nomination. So I'm not ruling that out. The movie looks good, and like, I just don't think we should be counting it out. I think people are saying like, it might not even be released this year, but I do think if it gets released, it's definitely in contention. We should not be sleeping on this. Wake Up Dead Man, like I said, I got the People's Choice, number 3, third place. Knives Out, like I also said, never has been nominated for Best Picture. Could this be, I mean, no, the Oscars does some crazy shit. So like, could this be like, we didn't nominate the other two, but you know what, now it's time, it's the third one, we'll give it to you. I don't know. I do think there's the possibility of like, that could be the second one. Like, you know, like I said, People's Choice usually has 2 movies out of those 3 movies into Best Picture. Could Frankenstein be the outlier, and then Wake Up Dead Man gets in there? I don't know. They're saying it's not the best, but that hasn't stopped the Oscars from nominating it. We really have to think about this. The Oscars does whatever the fuck it wants to do. So I could definitely see it pulling a curveball and being like, this is the one we want to recognize. You know, we haven't recognized the other ones, but these are the ones we're recognizing. Because they haven't announced the 4th one yet. So this could be the last one. I don't know. Then, here we are, Rental Family. People were thinking it was going to be like the Coda, the crowd pleaser that gets in the Best Picture. And they're saying it's a good movie, it's just not a Best Picture nominated movie. So I took it out. And I kind of took it out of everything, pretty much. It's not in my top 5 at all. It's in a few things here and there outside of my top 5. F1, I think it lost a lot of steam. Could it get it? Possibly, maybe. People loved it when it was out in theaters. Could have that Top Gun Maverick effect, but I don't think it's anywhere near it, where Top Gun Maverick stayed in that conversation all year long. F1 didn't really, but maybe with some push from Warner Brothers, maybe we can, or Apple, I'm not sure, I forgot who's going to push for that one because they both kind of made it. Maybe we can get a nomination somewhere. I think it's definitely going to get some text, though. Weapons, I just found out Weapons is being pushed for awards campaign. I don't know how hard, because they do have, you know, Sinners and a couple other movies. And could Weapons be the surprise? Like, could Weapons be, like, could they get a really good push and be seen by the right people at the right time, and it just gets, you know, possibly screenplay, Amy Madigan possibly for Best Supporting Actress, picture. I think maybe we'll get one of them. I don't think we're going to get all 3. And then, like, an outlier that still hasn't been bought up, and that's why, like, it's out of my top 20, is it's Testament of Ann Lee. I've heard it's not really Best Picture worthy anyway. Maybe, like, Best Actress and stuff like that, and maybe some text. but it hasn't been bought by any studio, so I think this might be its like last time at the on my predictions, unless it gets bought by someone. Because I just don't think it's happening anymore. I might keep Amanda Seyfried just in case it gets bought, but because she has a good chance. But everywhere else, I don't. I'm just gonna take it out probably. Best director. There has been some changes here. I have Sinners for Ryan Coogler, One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson, Hamnet, Chloe Zhao, Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier, and Wicked for Good, John M. Chu. Sinners, and I think the real battle now is Sinners, One Battle After Another, and Hamnet. Hamnet just because I heard she does amazing work, as like her direction is amazing in Hamnet, but she's won before, so I don't know if they're gonna give it to her. She won recently. She's only won within the last like 5 years. Paul Thomas Anderson, he has a narrative of never winning. He's been nominated multiple times, he's never won. This could be like his year. But then you have Sinners, Ryan Coogler, someone who has been slowly building his way to a Best Director nomination and even win, and he would be the first black man to win Best Director. So they both have like narratives that people can cling on. I'm still going like, they don't necessarily, the Best Picture winner doesn't have to always line up with the Best Director. We've seen that before. So I'm, as of right now, having them be different. I'm having One Battle After Another be the winner, and then Sinners being Best Director. And there would be both big movies, which I don't know if we've seen that for a while. I am curious that if that would kind of push people off. We're like, oh, we're giving a lot of, you know, the bigger movies. But if One Battle After Another is more, you know, maybe just shy of 100 million domestic, maybe it's a little different. It's not like this like, huge thing like Oppenheimer making like $300 million domestic, almost $1 billion worldwide, and then also giving like, you know, if we didn't give it to Christopher Nolan, we gave it to another big budget movie that was nominated that year, Greta Gerwig. You know, I don't think that's the same thing as this situation, so we'll have to see. Then, like I said, Sentimental Value, Wicked. Like with the Best Picture, I think well, at least with Sentimental Value, I think it's a good enough. I think from what I'm hearing, it's good enough movie to get directing. And they like a foreign director in there. Wicked for Good. The snub for John Chu for the first one was a big deal. He won Critics' Choice for Best Directing, and that will be one of the first. I think nominations coming out before during awards season. So maybe that might sway people. My gut is telling me John M. Chu has a really good chance of getting director. Like Wicked might have like a lower maybe nomination total or nomination like ceiling, but it's gonna be in the headlines. John M. Chu gets nominated for Wicked for Good. Like, you know, like he finally gets nomination. Because you know, I heard the movie's a little more serious and stuff like that. Maybe they might cling on to that. They like a more serious movie. There's just something in my gut that's telling me I want to take it out, but like I also don't. Then I have it was just an accident. Mari Supreme, Begonia, No Other Choice, and House of Dynamite. It was just an accident. Like I said, I have it like my number 10. I definitely think he can pop in there. There have been precedents where the Best Picture, like it doesn't get nominated for Best Picture, but it gets Best Director, and the 3 times I think it's happened in the last 10 years, it's always been for a foreign film. So he can easily, even if he doesn't get Best Picture, it was just an accident, that director can definitely replace John M. Chu. Josh Safdie, I don't know if the Safdie brothers are going to split themselves up. Like I said, Ben Safdie won the Venice directing prize. I wonder if they're going to be like, they're both A24 too. Like who are they going to push? Like now that they're separated, it's like, are they going to cancel each other out? And maybe neither of them get it. I don't know. It depends on how good Marty Supreme is. And it depends on how much buzz Smashing Machine has. Begonia, Yorgos Lanthimos has been nominated both times for Poor Things and The Favorite. There's a part of me that's thinking this year might not happen for him. He might get some stuff for Begonia, but it's not going to be like what he usually gets, which is including in director. I have No Other Choice here. Like I said, it was just an accident. There has been precedent where if a movie doesn't get Best Picture, there is still a chance they get Best Director. In the 10 years it's happened, it's only been foreign films. With Cold War, another round, I think another one I can't think off the top of my head. So there also is precedent for No Other Choice. Maybe they don't want to recognize the movie, but they're like, we never recognized Park Chan-wook, so maybe we'll give it a Best Directing nomination. Or maybe they'll just do international feature. Maybe that would be enough for the Oscars. I don't know. Because he's never even gotten international feature before. Then I have House of Dynamite, Kathryn Bigelow. I've heard this is more towards Hurt Locker, which won her Best Director, and that she was the first female director to win that. So if that's what they're saying the vibe is, I can easily see her getting nominated. Best Actress, not much has changed. I have Jessie Buckley number 1, Renata Razva, Sentimental Value, Cynthia Erivo, Wicked for Good, Emma Stone, Begonia, Julia Roberts, After the Hunt. I've heard Jessie Buckley is a lock. She's winning Best Actress. That's what's happening. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Renata Razva, Sentimental Value, I heard she's incredible. Cynthia Erivo, she was just, if she does what she does in Wicked for Good, like she did in Wicked Part 1, she can get nominated. Also, I think Best Actress is very light this year. So I think, her repeating a nomination is highly likely. Then I have Emma Stone, Begonia, and Julia Roberts, After the Hunt. Emma Stone in Yugoslav Most, she usually gets nominated for those movies, and she wins with Poor Things. She looks really good in this movie. I can see it. I do think I can see Begonia being an acting movie. And then Julia Roberts, After the Hunt. It has premiered at New York Film Festival to not great reviews. I've seen on Letterboxd, people giving it like 1.5 stars. It didn't do great at Venice. Could this be like a movie that people don't like, but they still like the performance of Julia Roberts? And it's Julia Roberts. It's happened before. I remember it's not the same level of not liking it, but Iron Lady, people didn't love Iron Lady, but they loved Meryl Streep, and she's Meryl Streep. And I do think this kind of same feel is going to happen for Julia Roberts for After the Hunt. And I think it would be After the Hunt's only nomination. Then, like I said, Amanda Seyfried, if it can get picked up, I definitely think she can get nominated, has a chance. They said she's very good. Jennifer Lawrence, Time I Love. After Cannes, it kind of disappeared, but they said she was amazing. Best of her career. They've said that about a lot of people. Angelina Jolie last year for Maria. Didn't happen for her. It's back editing now. They said they're editing again before it releases to the public. So maybe that can change some things. I don't know. After Cannes, it just disappeared. So I don't have a lot of hope for it, but maybe she can sneak in with some good campaigning. Then I have Rose Byrne. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I've heard really good things about her in this movie. I don't know if it's going to happen, but, it could be one of those ones where it's like the little horse that could, the little engine that could, that can finally get a nomination. Then I have, like I said, Is This Thing On? Don't Sleep on It. Laura Dern. And then I'm between Kate Hudson and June Squibb. I heard Eleanor the Great isn't amazing, so I'm taking June Squibb out probably. Should be my number 11. And I'm putting Kate Hudson's song, Sung Blue. That trailer looked like it could be a surprise hit with the Oscars, with her and Hugh Jackman maybe. So I'll put that in at 10, and then June Squibb, Eleanor the Great at number 11. Best Actor, now a lot has changed here also. I still have Timothée Chalamet number 1. I put Leonardo DiCaprio at number 2. Jeremy Allen White's at number 3. Michael B. Jordan, I finally put him in at number 4, and then Jesse Plemons number 5. Timothée Chalamet, I do think it's his year. I think he's been nominated enough to finally get a win. They like to award younger actresses over younger actors. Maybe this would be his time to get a younger actor get recognized. Leonardo DiCaprio, I heard he's incredible in this movie. I think it's going to be a very high nomination count for One Ballot After Another. Jeremy Allen White, I think no matter if the movie gets it or not, he's getting nominated. Michael B. Jordan, I finally put him in. I just didn't know if it was going to be they weren't going to recognize the acting, or if it was going to be like Barbie and they did recognize the acting. I do think it's going to be like Barbie in the sense where they're going to recognize someone, but it's just going to be him. I don't think anyone else is going to get it. And if he's snubbed, I think a lot of people will be upset. I think it's a well-deserved nomination. He was incredible. I think because he played twins, the work that they've said that went into that role, I think should secure him a spot. But I don't know if anyone in the acting categories will get for Sinners. I think it's going to be Best Picture, Director, Crafts, all around. He will be the only acting. Then I have Jesse Plemons for Begonia. Like I said, I think it's going to be an acting movie. They both look great in this movie. We'll see. Then I had Brendan Fraser, but after Rental Family kind of fell out, I kind of took him out. Daniel Day-Lewis, but I heard he's the best part of it, so maybe he can get something. Daniel Day-Lewis, Anemone. Daniel Day-Lewis. I just don't know if... I don't know if it's going to be enough just to be him to get nominated, but it's a good chance too. George Clooney, Jay Kelly. They said I've either heard he's great or he's miscast, so I don't know. But he's also George Clooney. Same thing with kind of Daniel Day-Lewis. Is that enough to just get him in to get nominated? His status. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, The Smashing Machine. I think he has a chance. I think he's gonna get probably Golden Globe, probably gonna get SAG maybe, and then he's gonna get snubbed probably at the Oscars. But I think he's gonna be like Jennifer Lopez and Hustlers. I think he's gonna get a bunch, and then kind of like just missed the Oscars. And then I have Will as this thing on. Just like I said, I'm putting in a lot because I think we shouldn't be sleeping on this. Okay, Best Supporting Actress. A few things are changed, but we still have like the top three the same. Ariana Grande, Wicked for Good. Ellen Fanning, Sentimental Value. Inga Ibsdatter, Sentimental Value. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. Then I have Tiana Taylor, One Bad After Another. Glenn Close, Wake Up Dead Man. Those three, I think those three are going to stay the three, or they're going to be in the five whatsoever. Could there be like a split the vote, with the two Sentimental Value actresses? Maybe, but I do think if someone's going to get double nominated, it's going to be Sentimental Value, like in this category. And I think it's going to get Supporting Actor too, and we'll talk about that in a sec. I think Ariana Grande has a really good chance of winning. I think she would have won if it wasn't for Zoe Saldana having that kind of like it's her time kind of narrative. And it does seem like this Glinda does go through a big transformation, Wicked for Good. So I could see Ariana Grande winning this, and I think it could happen. I think there's a good chance of it. So before like One Ballot Dinner came out, there's rumors that like the supporting roles weren't really that big. It was really Leo and Sean Penn that had kind of the media roles that were worthy of Oscars. But I'm now hearing now that it's out that like maybe Tiana Taylor actually has a chance. She might have a small role in the film, but her presence is enough to get nominated. Like the guy from Fabelmans, he was in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. He got nominated. I think she has, from what I'm hearing, what she does with this performance, she has the capability of getting nominated because of what she did in those few minutes. And I think she would probably be the only one for the actresses to get nominated. It seems like she is the standout. And then I have Glenn Close, because it's Glenn Close. They love to nominate her. I don't know, I just have this weird feeling they're going to nominate the third one and like finally recognize Knives Out in other places besides Screenplay. And if you're going to recognize Glenn Close, they have nominated her like 8-9 times. So like, why not? She got nominated for Hillbilly Elegy. Why can't she get nominated for this? That I will tell you. Like, I ask you that question. What is the difference? I liked her in Hillbilly Elegy, but like, from what I heard, she's even better in this. So like, why wouldn't she get nominated? And when they started the campaign for, or the press for Wake Up Dead Man, she like introduced herself as like 8-time Oscar nominee Glenn fucking Close, and I'm like, she's trying to go for this, and I think Netflix will go for it as well. Like, I think they'll push her as well. So regarding like performance status, it's her time to just get her in there. Like, even if she doesn't win, she deserves it. There's a lot in her favor, so I do think it can happen. And I'm taking a risk on that because my other risk I was gonna take, like I was going back and forth, was Amy Manning in Weapons. I don't know if it's gonna get nominated for either like picture, screenplay, or supporting actress. I do think maybe one, or it might just fall short, get a bunch of precursors. But she can easily switch with Glenn Close. She's a previous Oscar nominee, like Glenn Close. Like, she went through a transformation with this film. She really was incredible. They don't love the horror, but it's like it's kind of like it's a genre bending film. I feel like Weapons. So she could easily be number 5. Right now I think Glenn Close has a bigger chance because she's Glenn Close. Then I have Gwyneth Paltrow, Maya Supreme number 7, Emily Blunt number 8, Smashing Machine, Jennifer Lopez, Kiss for Spider-Woman, Laura Dern again, but for Jay Kelly. I haven't heard much about her for Jay Kelly. I've heard more about Adam Sandler and then like George Clooney, but they did love her performance in Marriage Story. The Oscars gave the Oscar for it. Another Noah Baumbach movie. I'm gonna keep her at 10, but like another one that could easily get in there was Rebecca Ferguson for House of Dynamite. I just don't know if they're going to. It's such a big ensemble that they're not going to really focus on any acting in particular. It's going to be like, oh, that was like great. Maybe like a SAG ensemble or like a casting. So I'll keep her 11 and Laura Dern number 10. Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know how good she is in Marty Supreme. Like I said, no one's really seen it, but I can see her getting in there possibly. Emily Blunt is Emily Blunt. I can see her getting some precursors at least that might make people think she's going to get nominated. Kiss for Spider-Woman, Jennifer Lopez. I think it's going to be like Hustlers, if not less. I heard she is the standout, and I heard there is some texts that are worthy of nominations, like production design. I just don't know if she's gonna get it. I feel like it came off of Sundance not hot, and it never like got hotter. So like I feel like she may get a, Critics' Choice circle here or there, maybe one precursor, and then that's it. But who knows? Maybe they can push this movie, and it would be a bigger thing than I'm thinking right now in the next few months. Supporting actor, Not really much has changed. I put Paul Mescal number one because they say he's, if he's supporting, I think he can easily be number one. It seems like Hamnet is gonna dominate the acting on top of like other things probably. They're saying it's that good. Then I have Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Value, Sean Penn, One After Another, Adam Sandler, Jay Kelly, Jonathan Bailey, Wicked for Good. Stellan Skarsgård, I think, is going to be, he may not win, but he's definitely going to get nominated. Same with Sean Penn. Their movies are high enough and enough like nominations to put that package together for them. Same with Hamnet, even if he doesn't win. Adam Sandler, Jay Kelly, I do think he is the standout. Him, that and Screenplay, I feel like are the biggest chances that movie have right now. I hope he gets nominated. I think he's done enough to kind of work his way to being nominated for other roles and then finally doing this role. They say he's very good in this. I had him higher just because Jay Kelly fell out. I'm doing a little bit lower. But I think if Netflix can push, I think Netflix can push a Adam Sandler win or Adam Sandler nomination at least. And then Jonathan Bailey, Wicked for Good, he got that Rogue SAG nomination last year. I think that was a sign that like in his role, the characters definitely go through. I'm not going to spoil anything for the second part, but certain characters go through certain transformations that I think, if done right, could push him over the edge to finally get nominated. And I can see all three of them definitely. I can see it, like Ariana, Cynthia, and Jonathan being nominated for in acting roles, in the acting categories. Then I have Delroy Lindo for Sinners. In my 6 through 10, I have Delroy Lindo for Sinners. If they want to nominate someone else, it's probably going to be Delroy Lindo. Then I have Jeremy Strong and Stephen Graham for Deliver Me From Nowhere. I don't know how much Deliver Me From Nowhere is going to get. I just know it's Jeremy Allen White. I don't know anything else after that. Probably will pick up a few nominations. Sean Bean for M&A and Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. Possible surprises. But I do think, as you go down in that 6 through 10, it's less likely. Best Original Screenplay of Sinners, Sentimental Value, Amari Supreme, House Dynamite. It was just an accident. Sinners, it's the epitome of an original screenplay. So I think that's winning no matter what. And One Battle, like the movies I have above it in Best Picture are in Adapted. So I think it has a good chance. Sentimental Value, I heard the script's great. Amari Supreme, if it's the movie I'm thinking it is, I can see the script being very sharp. House Dynamite, another very sharp script. If it's the movie I'm thinking of, it's going to be very drama version of Adam McKay sort of, and he does get screenplays. It was just an accident. I heard the screenplay was good. I don't know where to put It Was Just an Accident. To be honest with you, I may have it in my number 6. I might put Weapons in number 5. I think screenplays where they like to kind of recognize more out there movies that it's not normally quote unquote Oscar movies. So I think Weapons could be there. So I'm going to put that actually number 5. Number 6 would be It Was Just an Accident. Then Jay Kelly, Rental Family, Materialist, Is This Thing On? I think out of the 6 through 10, the best chances to pop into the 5 are It Was Just an Accident, Jay Kelly. Is This Thing On? I know that sounds weird because it's at number 10, but that's only because I'm not even sure if the movie's coming out. I don't know if people are going to like it, but if the reception starts to grow, I'm definitely going to push it up very high. Best Adapted Screenplay, One Battle to Another, Hamnet, Wake Up Dead Man, Begonia, no other choice. One Battle to Another, they're just saying it's amazing. I think it's going to be 10 nominations or higher at least. Hamnet, same thing with One Battle to Another. I think it's going to be a high nomination. I think they're saying the script is amazing. It just makes sense. Wake Up Dead Man, all the other Knives Out movies have been nominated. Begonia, his other movies that he doesn't write have been nominated. Poor Things, A Favorite. Will Tracy wrote The Menu. I can see that being a very sharp script because The Menu was very in contention of maybe being screenplay back when that came out. Then I have No Other Choice. If they're going to give it anything besides international, I think screenplay is probably his best bet because, like I said, with Weapons, they like to recognize movies that maybe they didn't want to recognize anywhere else. So I can see that happening. 6 through 10, Wicked, depending on the story and how they do it, and if they, go more with the book or play with the play or try to incorporate Wizard of Oz, I can see maybe the screenplay kind of getting in there because what they did depends on the reception. Wicked for Good right now is all about reception right now. Deliver Me From Nowhere, possibly. Frankenstein, I heard the script. I heard mixed things in the script, so I'm not sure. Battle of a Small Player, Edward Berger movies always get screenplay, and it's weird for me to have an Edward Berger movie and nothing almost except for screenplay, so I'm just putting in there as a fluke maybe. Maybe it has that small chance to get in there. And then Life of Chuck, I think they butchered this release, Neon, and if anything it can pull out what Sing Sing did, where they butchered that release with A24, but it still got screenplay. and maybe it can get Screenplay here. I don't think so, but it has to do really a lot of work. And Neon has too many other things that they might put on the back burner. Best animated feature, I don't think it's changed at all, actually. K-Pop Demon Hunters, Zootopia 2, Arco, Elio, Little Amelia. It's the same reason I said last month. K-Pop Demon Hunters, I'm pretty sure, is winning, unless Zootopia is like incredible and like overcomes it, but that's its only competition. But K-Pop Demon Hunters is like literally the biggest thing in the world right now. It's like the biggest movie on Netflix all time. I just think the Oscars, if anything, is going to do song and animation. It's going to win those two. Zootopia 2, like I said, it has to be like better than the first, I think, to go over K-pop. And then the other ones are kind of like free-for-all. I think my 6 through 10 could also get in there. I really don't know much. I don't have, it could be anything. They like to have a little mix of like indie, foreign, bigger anime movies, so it really could be anything. My 6 through 10 is Scarlet, Animal Farm, The Twits, Magnificent Life, Niza 2, something else may come out, that I don't know about. But I think right now at 5, yeah, it's probably going to stay like that for a while until some, precursors are getting like announced with their animation nominations. Cinematography, I have Hamnet, Sinners, Frankenstein, Mario Supreme, One Battle After Another. Hamnet, they just said it's beautifully shot. I believe her previous movie, Nomadland, which won Best Picture, won Best Cinematography as well. Not the same cinematographer, but it's the one, and the way she shoots is very interesting and beautiful, so I can see that. Sinners, what they did with the IMAX, how they shot it, it was just, I can easily see that getting nominated. Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro has a great vision, so I can see the cinematography being beautiful, and I heard the cinematography is beautiful in that movie, along with the other techs. Mario Supreme, Period Piece, this person who did the cinematography has been nominated before. I heard there's long takes and stuff like that, so maybe that can get in there. And One Battle After Another, it's the IMAX, it's the scope is big. I think that might be one of the big movies in there as well. They like to have like smaller movies, bigger movies, kind of all that. So I can definitely see that being in there. And also, I do think it's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised what they're talking about this movie. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but like with the way they're talking about this movie, it could beat like Emilia Perez's numbers and be like one of the biggest nominated movies of all time. So it has to be nominated in certain places. So we'll see. That's why I'm like it's at 5 because it's like more of a modern movie. It's like it's usually cinematography. They love period pieces. So we'll have to see. When I see this movie, I'll know. I'll be like, oh, I can see XYZ being nominated. Then I have Begonia. His other Yorgos Lanthimos movies have been nominated for cinematography. Before those have been period pieces. This is a modern movie, so we'll see. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. There's some black and white scenes, so maybe the Oscars might like that. Battle of a Small Player. The cinematography in the trailer looked good. F1. Cinematography looked amazing, but Top Gun Maverick didn't get that, so I don't know if this is going to get it. And then Wicked for Good, it was getting precursors for the first one, but there was that whole controversy how it didn't look like it was worthy. The second one did look like a little more worthy, and it's from the trailers, so maybe it can get it. If it's one of those ones where they pick up extra nominations, this might be one of them. Best Editing, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Mario Supreme, Hamnet, Sentimental Value, One Battle After Another. I'm just going to keep saying I heard every aspect of that movie is incredible. So, and it's like a 3-hour movie, and then people say like you don't even feel like it's 3 hours. Sinners, they combine like a period piece with a vampire movie, so like the editing obviously is incredible there. Marty Supreme, I heard it's long takes with quick cuts, so we'll see. Hamnet, I heard the editing is it's one of those like slower movies that has great editing, and Sentimental Value is similar. It has like it's not like a quick movie, but like slower, but the pacing is just great. You know what? Wicked Part 1 got this, and I do think, after seeing the trailers, I do think Part 2 can get this. So I'm actually going to switch Sentimental Value and Wicked for Good. Could easily switch back, but right now I'm going to go on my gut and switching Wicked for Good at number 5. So Sentimental Value will be at number 6, Begonia at 7, House of Dynamite number 8, F1 number 9, and then No Other Choice number 10. I heard House of Dynamite's very quick edits. I heard like it's like in real time, so it's very tense and stuff like that. I can see that being editing. F1, the editing's incredible for the racing scenes. I heard No Other Choice had great editing. But like I said, No Other Choice is very weird. Like I don't know if they're going to recognize it or not. Possible another one could be Springsteen with the music sequences and stuff like that. A Complete Unknown got editing. Okay, our 2 new categories this month are visual effects and sound. So best visual effects, I have Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Wicked for Good, Fantastic Four, and Superman. Avatar, Fire and Ash, it's won for the last 2 movies. It's insane, the visual effects, so it's winning again. F1, they really made a point to say like there's a lot of visual effects in there, and I think the Oscars like to nominate really big spectacles and then ones that you can't tell are visual effects. And I see F1 fitting in there perfectly. Wicked for Good, it got nominated for Best Visual Effects last year, so I can see it again. I'm going to put Wicked at 5, actually. So I'm going to go with Fantastic Four First Steps. I think people really, the Oscars like to nominate like superhero movies, like Marvel movies, and like Best Visual Effects. You know, like I think Fantastic Four fits more with Black Panther, where it's doing stuff differently, where they might want to recognize, you know, production design, stuff like that, score maybe. But I think visual effects probably is his best bet, along with Superman. I think people really like Superman. I think it's gonna get anything that's gonna get visual effects, maybe sound. So I can see like the new DCU kind of starting. That this would be a good sign for that to get best visual effects. I can see that. This is where the superhero movies usually get nominated, if anything. But yeah, I'm gonna switch. So it's my 5 is Avatar: Fire and Ash, F1, Fantastic Four, Superman, Wicked for Good. Just because I think Wicked for Good can get it. I just don't know how much new visual effects there's gonna be that's not the same from the first one. Then I have Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, Frankenstein, Tron Ares, How to Train Your Dragon, Sinners. Mission Impossible, I think the Dead Reckoning was the first one I ever got. I don't think this one's gonna get it. It had a middling reception. Frankenstein, it is a bigger budget movie, but I heard they did really practical stuff. Tron Ares, the visuals did look really good. Just depends on if they're willing, if it's gonna get snubbed or not, or be able to fit in that 5. How to Train Your Dragon, the same thing with Tron Ares and Sinners. It depends on how much nominations they want to give it. Do they want to give it visual effects? Because then there are visual effects and they're great. Like, is it the best? I'm not sure, but like it could easily get in that 5. It just depends on how many nominations they want to give it. I forgot production design, so I'm gonna go back to that. Production design: Sinners, Wicked for Good, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Frankenstein. Sinners, I just think, could that fall at number 1? Yes, I do think production design is great in that movie. But I do think out of the Best Picture ones, it is like the highest one, and I do think it's gonna be a high nomination count regarding tech, so I can easily see Sinners getting it. But it could play around the 5. I think it's definitely the 5. I don't know if it's always gonna stay at number 1, but it definitely will be on the 5. And the production design was simple but yet good. I think people can really appreciate that. Wicked for Good, I think there's enough from what I've seen in the trailers, enough new production design and new areas we're going to that will warrant it still to get nominated. Will it win again? I'm not sure. But it looks amazing still. So like, I definitely see the renom for it. I definitely see the renomination for it. I just don't know about winning right now. Hamnet, I heard they built like the Globe Theater, so I can see, like I heard they did a lot of like production, like the production design is very detailed. I can see that getting it. Martin Supreme, period piece. Frankenstein, period piece, but also Guillermo del Toro. He likes to build his sets over visual effects, and I heard the production design is incredible. Fantastic Four, like I said, with visual effects, they're doing something different. It was like retro future, so like they might want to recognize that. Avatar: Fire and Ash has gotten nominated before. I just don't know. Besides like visual effects, which is locked, and maybe sound, which is locked, like could they get Best Picture and production design and stuff like that? I just don't know how many nominations it's gonna get, because it did go from the first one to the second one. It decreased a lot of nominations, so I don't know if it's gonna decrease even more. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. Kiss the Spider-Woman, I heard the production design is good, but is it enough to? Can the promotion? Can they campaign enough to get it nominated? Spring Deliver Me From Nowhere, can possibly get it one after another. If they want to, it depends on how many nominations they want to give it. They could give it to production design. Begonia, possibly. It's all kind of one setting, so I'm not 100% sure. Best Sound, I have F1, Sinners, Avatar: Fire and Ash, Wicked for Good, Spring Delivery From Nowhere. F1 just makes sense. Sinners, they do a lot with the sound, with the music, and then the sound, just the sound in general, which was really good. Avatar: Fire and Ash has been, I think, nominated for all the movies, so I can see that, like with visual effects. Wicked for Good, it got sound last year. I can see it getting sound this year again. Springsteen Delivery From Nowhere, the concert scenes, like A Complete Unknown got this. I just don't know how much they're going to give Springsteen. So I can see it because of the concert performances getting sound. But we'll see if they just kind of back off of that movie and it's just Jeremy Allen White. I can see this falling out. Then I have One Battle After Another, Warfare, House of Dynamite, Mission Impossible, Frankenstein. I can see really any of these being nominated. Possibly Marty Supreme if that pops into the 10. Hamnet, I don't know if that had like good like Oscar-worthy sound in it, but maybe. Sound is kind of up in the air right now. I feel like F1, Sinners, Avatar can get it. Probably Wicked too. Really, that number 5 spot. Is it going to be Springsteen? Is it going to be one after another? I mean, there's a lot of action sequences, so I can see sound. Warfare, the sound was incredible. Can they push it enough to get into that nomination? House Dynamite, I think number 5 is a really crucial spot. It could be like a lot of different things. Best score, Sinners, one after another. Hamnet, Frankenstein, Begonia. Sinners, the score was amazing. Luca Gordonson's won multiple times before. One after another, I heard Johnny Greenwood's score is very good. Hamnet, I heard that score is incredible. Frankenstein's Alexander Desplat. They like Alexander Desplat, so I can see that getting into 5. Begonia, he's done Poor Things, and they really like. He can do different things with scores. He does. It's very unconventional, so I can see if it's similar to like Poor Things, and he puts like the same amount of work into it in the same style, where it's very unconventional. I can see them wanting to recognize it because of that. Fantastic Four, great score. Like I said, I compare it to Black Panther a lot because it just the text did something different than normal Marvel movies, and the score is very different. And they love Michael Giacchino, so I can see that easily being number 5 as well. Sentimental Value, Wicked for Good, Marty Supreme, House of Dynamite, all contenders. Really, like again, I can see like 4 and 5 being the ones that are kind of like up in the air. I think the other ones are locked. 4 and 5 could be any of these 6 through 10. Finally, best song, nothing has changed. I think Golden's winning. So I have number 1, Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. 2, I Lied to Sinners. 3, No Place Like Home, Wicked for Good. 4, Girl in the Bubble, Wicked for Good. And then 5, Relentless, Diane Warren, Relentless. I don't think this is going to change. I think this is going to be the 5, just depending on where on the list on the 5 it is. And then like all my alternatives are like either a second K-Pop Demon Hunter song, second Sinner song. Maybe Springsteen might get something if Bruce Springsteen wants to write a song for the movie. Waiting on a Wish from Snow White. If Disney pushes it a lot, maybe they can get to the right people to like nominate it. Zootopia 2, I think Shakira is writing a song. I heard Billie Eilish is a rumor she's writing an Avatar Fire and Ash song. So I definitely think the 5 is the 5, unless something like it's one of those like rumored ones that could pop out of nowhere and come out that I'm not aware of right now. But I do think the only double nomination is going to be Wicked for Good because both Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande have original songs, and they're going to want to nominate that. But I still think Golden's going to win. I still think K-Pop Demon Hunter is going to win song and anime feature, unless these songs from Wicked are insane. But I just don't think you can beat the insanity of the K-Pop Demon Hunter songs. And those are my predictions for the month of September. Let me know what you thought of my predictions. Tell me your predictions down below. Subscribe to the channel. We got next month coming up for October. We have New York Film Festival will be ending. More movies will be coming out to the public. This is really when it starts to, it starts to get harder and easier at the same time. But see you guys next month. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Cheers.